Lucy Powell MP. Lucy Powell MP. Labour MP for Manchester Central. Have you heard what she said? Can you believe what she said? I believe it, because that's why we're in this mess in the first place. No acknowledgement of what's gone on. No acknowledgement of MPs, politicians' involvement in this that made the grooming gang atrocities carry on. Because that's why we call it a cover-up. Because of Labour MPs and some Tory MPs and politicians as well. Don't let the Tories off. Almost as bad. But Labour are worse on this. Because they do not want to challenge the narrative, upset the Muslim vote, upset this utopia of multiculturalism, and they don't want to admit that mass migration is destroying this country and putting our women in danger. They still can't admit it now. She says if you discuss the grooming gangs, it's a dog whistle. What that means is you're saying something that only other racists can hear. And they go, oh, you're talking about that. You're just like me. You're a far-right Nazi racist. Good on you, mate. Good on you for sending me that special signal. That's what she means when she uses the term dog whistle. Absolutely appalling. No, she was my MP for many, many, many years. And I've had a spat with her online before because she's a race baiter as well. And I had to challenge her for race baiting about something that happened in Moss Side. She's absolutely disgraceful. She's one of those Labour politicians who doesn't care. She climbs that greasy pole, that's all she wants to do. And now she's the leader of the House of Commons. What are we going to do about this? What's the Labour Party going to do about this? She is the pure example of why the grooming gangs have never been tackled. Not her personally, but her mindset. All the other MPs like her, like Jess Phillips, a gobby cow, who goes on and on and on about how she protects women until she gets her hands on the levers of power. And then she goes, I'm going to do nothing. Lucy Powell. Honestly, if you live in central Manchester and at the next election, in fact, if I get a chance, I'll be standing for MP against her at the next election. I'm already a member of Reform now. I'll stand against her. I will. Because she needs calling out on this. She won't resign. Starmer won't sack her. He can't afford to sack anyone. He's in so much trouble at the moment. But honestly, we still have MPs in our countries. We still have MPs representing areas where hundreds of thousands of mainly white poor girls were gang raped on an industrial scale over decades and decades and decades. And it was ignored because of politicians like Lucy Powell. That's why it happened. Because of politicians like Lucy Powell. That's why it happened and was never stopped decades ago. Disgraceful. Honestly. Can Labour sink any lower? Have they learned any lessons? No, they haven't. They've learnt nothing. We're still at fault. It's our fault. We're the racists, the bigots, the Nazis, the fascists. It's us. We're to blame here. Because for some reason, we're such idiots. We don't want our children gang raped. And we're such Nazis that when it happens, we want to talk about it. That's how evil we are. That's how evil we are. That we want to talk about the worst scandal ever in this country, ever. Hundreds of thousands of poor white girls gang raped for decades and we did nothing. And she still wants to carry on down that path of doing nothing. Don't you talk about it. Shut up, racist pig, scum. Stop talking about it. This is what Labour politicians are like. The former leader of Oldham Council, Amanda Chadderton, who now works for Yvette Cooper, she stood up in the chamber. This is on YouTube. She stood up in Oldham Chamber when she was a leader of the council as a Labour leader. And she said, you can't say being gang raped is going to ruin your life. Is she mental? Being gang raped by hundreds of men isn't going to ruin your life? I'm sure there is one girl out there and it didn't ruin her life. But it wasn't a pleasant experience, though, was it? This is what Labour politicians are like. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. And they definitely don't care about our children. Otherwise, hundreds wouldn't be stabbed to death every year on our streets. Hundreds of thousands wouldn't be raped. Labour are done. Labour are done. This election last week showed that Labour are done. And if you're one of those few people now continuing to vote Labour, you need to ask yourself, what are you voting for? And the odds are you're one of those far left loonies. So yeah, carry on voting Labour. Absolutely, they're your party. But if you're an old-fashioned sort of person and you're thinking, I'm sticking with Labour for the work they did in the 50s and 60s and 70s, and they stick up for the working class people, no, they don't. Where have you been living? Where have you been living? It's not been in this country, I'll tell you that for nothing. Labour are not the party they used to be. The Tories are not the party they used to be. It's all changed. And when the information changes and the environment changes, that means you change. I'm not telling you who to vote for, but Jesus Christ, I'll tell you who not to vote for. Don't vote for Labour. Don't vote for Labour Light, as in the Tories. But let me say this before I go. Lucy Powell is telling you, if you discuss the grooming gangs, you're a racist, you're a bigot, you're a Nazi, you're a fascist, you're scum. Do not discuss that, because we can't change it. And in fact, it's quite good for our country that we've imported people and we allow them to be so comfortable. They're quite comfortable raping our children. And we may not like it, but you know what? It's a price worth paying for multiculturalism. It's a price worth paying. So shut your mouth, keep voting Labour, and stop loving and caring about your children. Vote Labour. Always vote Labour. See you next time.